Welcome to Cosmic Scene with Jill Jardine. I'm your host, Jill Jardine, Master's in Counseling Psychology, longtime professional astrologer, psychic, healer, yogi, and certified Sanskrit mantra instructor. It seems that everyone is worried about money and manifesting these days. Stay tuned when I share ancient sound formulas of Sanskrit mantras to create abundance. Welcome to the episode on Sanskrit mantras for abundance. I invite you to think, what does abundance mean to you? It means different things to different people. Some people would think abundance is plenty of money in the bank. Others would think abundance is plenty of time to do those activities you enjoy doing. While others would perceive abundance as an abundance of time, an abundance of vitality and health and energy. So I ask you to think about that as we go through the episode. There is a lot of content out there sharing the secrets to the law of attraction, which include manifesting and magnetizing money, love, a desired lifestyle, and more. However, some of these techniques fall short because they lack a single element for the complete recipe of manifestation. I'll share what that missing ingredient is. Stay tuned to the end of the episode when you will receive a high vibrational abundance mantra transmission. So what is missing from most manifestation or law of attraction techniques? Traditionally, they have focused on visualization. The classic book by Shakti Gawain, written in the 1980s, Creative Visualization, kicked off the whole movement in visualizing your new reality or seeing yourself having your desired object or objects, whether more money, your partner, your soulmate, or living the life you long for. But visualization is a mental exercise and only activates the mental body. When you visualize, you're concentrating on seeing a picture of what it is that you would like. But we have to add into the equation to feel as if you already have the desired outcome, and a lot of the techniques are doing that. It's being taught to feel as if it is already in your life, or act as if you already have it. Rehearse living it in your mind and feeling, smelling, and bringing all senses into the picture. It's also advised to bring in the emotional body by feeling how good it will be to be living in that manifested result, because you're happy and living the life you always wanted. You feel in your emotions the excitement of being with your soulmate or ideal partner, and how it feels to be financially free so money is not a worry. It's really an uplifting emotional set point, coming into joy, happiness, freedom, all the higher vibrations of the emotions, and leaving behind depression, disappointment, sadness, lack. Or you can feel how good it is to be vibrating vitality and health in your body as you are on a healing journey and trying to see yourself healthy in the future. You feel it in your body. These are all important ingredients to the recipe of manifestation, but they do lack an important element, and that is the subconscious mind, your old friend, the saboteur. And the subconscious mind may go along with all these visualizations, feeling, and acting as if, but it's also negating at the same time. It can be like, okay, go through your paces here with these law of attraction or creative visualization techniques, but you know you don't deserve it, or what other buried subconscious self-talk comes out to sabotage your best intentions. So you've got to pay attention to the subconscious and some of those patterns, even though, again, you may not even be aware of it consciously, because the subconscious is accounting for 95% of what propels you through life, the automatic operating system that you really have no control over unless you do psychological work, shadow work, and hypnotherapy and other techniques to get a handle on what the subconscious is stewing and brewing behind the scenes. The conscious mind is only 5%, or the tip of the iceberg of the mind, according to some research. Sure, you can fake it until you make it, and maybe after really working it, you will unlock the key to attracting what you want in life. But unraveling and healing subconscious patterns is a key to manifestation, as well as another essential factor. Drum roll. Raise your vibration to be at the same frequency as your desired result. So if you're wanting financial freedom, you have to feel that within. You have to live your life and not worry about money, or not let those old subconscious money patterns of lack or fear. Am I going to have enough money to pay the mortgage? Am I going to have enough money to pay the rent at the end of the month? You have to watch those anxieties, those fears that pop as it gets closer to a deadline, when you have to come up with money or another triggering event financially, a bill that you didn't expect. So that brings the vibration down: worry, fear, anxiety. So you have to raise your vibration, not be in denial, but raise it to one of ease, grace, bringing it to the same frequency as your desired result, such as feeling free internally, thus manifesting financial freedom. As Nikola Tesla said, if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. So raise all of those to one of prosperity. And guess what? I have a formula that will break those last two barriers to manifesting, which are the subconscious block and not holding a high enough vibration. I'm speaking of the ancient sound formulas of Sanskrit mantras. Chanting in Sanskrit is an ancient Vedic practice, sometimes in modern times referred to as the yoga of sound. Sanskrit mantras are sacred sound formulas that shift our spiritual physiology. They clear blockages internally and externally, allowing us to be more receptive to our good. By removing obstacles known or unknown in our body, mind, and energetic fields, Sanskrit mantras change our frequency so we become more magnetic to our good on both the material plane, as well as activating our soul powers and receiving spiritual fruits. The Sanskrit language is a tool for working with the subtle energy potential represented by the hundreds of chakras and nadis within the energetic body. Sanskrit is known as Deva Lingua, the language of the gods, or the mother of tongues. And linguists also ascribe these descriptions to Sanskrit because it provides a root tongue for many languages. But really, it is a vibrational language, meaning that until recently, it was only spoken by those Brahmins and priests who were initiated into these ancient formulas. It has come to the West with various gurus bringing this wisdom, first starting with Yogananda about 100 years ago, and then in the 60s and 70s when my mantra guru came to the U.S., Sadhguru Sant Kesha Das, along with a wave of other gurus who introduced mantra, including Yogi Bhajan, who brought in Kundalini Yoga. They don't have their mantras in Sanskrit. It's in another language called Gurmukh, but they are very powerful as well. Then there was Swami Muktananda, who introduced Shaktipat, or the transmission of energy through sacred energy called Shakti, through touch, and many other gurus that came to the West from India. So Sanskrit came to the West during that cycle of pilgrimages from gurus to the U.S., and my teacher included Namadeva Archarya, who was exposed to Sanskrit by his guru who came in that wave in the 60s, Sadhguru Sant Kesha Das. That lineage came over in the 1960s to the U.S. So we are so lucky that we have received initiation in lineage, and I'll speak more about that later. The thing about the Sanskrit alphabet is that it has 50 letters in it. This is exactly the same number of petals or spokes that there are on the flowers or wheels of the total of the first 6 chakras, also known as energy centers, considered esoteric energy centers, located along the spine. I've talked about chakras in many of my previous podcasts on Sanskrit mantras. The Sanskrit language is a tool for working with the subtle energy potential represented by each of the hundreds of chakras within the energetic body. So to remind you how this works, we have something called the spiritual physiology or energy body. The closest thing people can understand about it is like acupuncture. When you go to an acupuncturist, they put needles in to activate points along the 12 meridians or channels that you can't see on an x-ray, but can still feel the effect of the movement of energy, health, and well-being in the body when they're activated with needles or an acupressure by touch. In the Vedic spiritual physiology, we have the 7 main energy centers known as the chakras or wheels of light, but we also have 72,000 subtle pathways called nadis that can be opened and cleared out when we chant or do yoga or breath work, and this will remove soul samskaras or blockages. We're all familiar with the main nadi, the sushumna, which is the spinal column. And then there is a distribution on the left called the Ida and the right, the Pingala, and then 69,000 more subtle pathways that we can clear out old karmas when we chant. The Sanskrit alphabet has 50 letters, which is the same number of petals on the first 6 chakras, the energy centers along the spine. When we chant Sanskrit mantras, many magical things can happen. We may feel physical healing in our body, illumination of consciousness, and other sensations such as energy goosebumps of spiritual confirmation or kundalini rising. However, one must be discriminating where and who they learn Sanskrit mantras from. It is not advised to find them willy-nilly on the internet or YouTube because of the source of where they came from sometimes is not known. Luckily, I, your host, Jill Jardine, am an initiated and certified instructor in Sanskrit mantra through the lineage of Namadeva Archarya Thomas Ashley-Farrand, through a mantra lineage that goes way back to India. In this episode, I will teach Sanskrit mantras for abundance that have been transmitted through my teacher's mantra lineage. It is important to learn Sanskrit mantras from a real teacher or guru that has been initiated in mantra through a teacher or lineage. There's a lot of Sanskrit mantras out there on YouTube, but one must be careful, especially if they don't know the source of who's teaching them or where they are coming from. There are mantras called Vashkarana mantras that can be manipulative and almost reek of black magic. Just think of Vashakaran as bad karma. The term comes from Sanskrit Vashakara, meaning subjugating or making someone subject to one's will. It derives from the root vash, control, and karan, doing. So my advice is stay away from internet mantras as they may be Vashikaran mantras, and thus you are creating very bad karma for yourself. Always find out what the source is and make sure it is credible to protect yourself. So some of the benefits of chanting mantras. Chanting mantras activate Shakti, a Sanskrit term for the divine feminine life force. Shakti can be transmitted from gurus or teachers to students and from healers to receivers. Chanting mantras mitigate negative planetary influences and enhance positive planetary influences. They can optimize health and well-being. Mantras calm the mind. The root of mantra comes from the Sanskrit manas, meaning the mind, and tre, meaning to still. Sanskrit mantras clear karma and remove samskaras, which are soul karmas that are deep within. One of the great things about mantras, they activate Kundalini Shakti, which is life force energy. You can attain siddhi or spiritual power and buddhi wisdom. Chanting mantras energize the spiritual physiology and uplift the physical environment. Mantras are energy-based sounds. Mantras create thought energy waves. Mantras are tools of power and for power. Mantras are not a direct translation. For instance, when you say hot or burn to a child who's about to touch a stove, they don't understand that until they touch the stove and figure out what burn or hot is. Mantras have been tested and are verified by the original framers or users. Sanskrit mantras are composed of letters which correspond to certain petals or spokes on the chakras in the subtle body. There are 50 Sanskrit letters, and they each correspond with a petal among the 50 petals in chakras 1 through 6, from the base of the spine to the third eye, the Ajna chakra. All this information on mantras and their power comes from my teacher, Namadeva Archarya. As my teacher, Namadeva Archarya, Thomas Ashley-Farrand, wrote, quote, "Mantras are powerful, they are formidable, they work." And so as a devotee, a student of Namadeva Archarya, it has been my experience after years of chanting Sanskrit mantras, as passed down from my lineage of Sanskrit mantra gurus. They are powerful, they are formidable, they work. Please enjoy chanting these sacred sound formulas. I have carefully curated this stack of 5 mantras to help increase abundance in your life and hold a higher vibration to attract abundance to you, whatever that means to you. It can be money, food to eat, plenty of supportive people in your life, abundance of all types, abundance of time and energy, and more. It is recommended to chant each Sanskrit mantra 108 times every day to receive the full benefits of this practice, 108 times a day. Stay tuned for the abundance mantras. Welcome back to the segment on chanting Sanskrit mantras. I'm going to teach you the mantra. I'm going to say it. I'm going to tell you the meaning. And then I invite you to chant with me each mantra 27 times, which is a quarter mala or a quarter of 108. But I invite you to chant each 108 or pick 1 or 2 that you want to chant every day for 108. So the first mantra I want to introduce you to for abundance from the Sanskrit lineage is Shrim, Shrim. By the way, I'll have all the mantras and their meanings in the show notes. Shrim. This is the seed mantra for the Lakshmi principle of abundance. This means all kinds of abundance. This can show up as material prosperity, spiritual abundance, peace as wealth, health as wealth, children as a form of abundance, enough food to eat, and more. Chanting this powerful seed mantra, or what we call Bij mantra, 100 times a day invokes prosperity into your life. A very simple one-word seed Bija mantra, Shrim. Join me now. Shrim, 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 shrim. The second mantra is also a bija or seed mantra, and it is Klim, spelled Klim. Klim is the seed for the principle of attraction. This sound is commonly combined with other mantras to attract the object of desire. This seed sound is very powerful when combined with the Lakshmi mantra or the Lakshmi seed. So join me in chanting the Bij or seed mantra Kleem for attraction. Kleem, 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 kleem. So the third mantra, we are going to combine the seeds Shreem and Kleem with the foundation or Mula mantra for the goddess Lakshmi. In the Vedic tradition, Lakshmi is the goddess of abundance, prosperity, and blessings. So the mantra is Om Shreem Kleem Maha Lakshmi Ye Namaha. Om is the universal consciousness mantra. Shreem, the seed for Lakshmi. Kleem, the seed for attraction. Maha means great. Lakshmi, the name of the deity or principle. Ye is a Shakti producing, and the salutation Namaha. Om Shreem Kleem Mahalakshmi Namaha combines Shreem for abundance, Kleem for attraction with the Lakshmi Foundation mantra. Here we go. Om Shreem Kleem Mahalakshmi Namaha. 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 The fourth mantra is all seed sounds. It's to Lord Kubera, the celestial treasurer who works with Lakshmi, the goddess of abundance. And the mantra is Hasaka la I Aila Hreem. Hasaka la I Aila Hreem. Reem is also a seed sound, Hrim, for the Sacred Heart. So we say that phrase, Hasaka la I Aila Hreem, twice for one repetition of the mantra. And these are all seed sounds that activate the petals of the chakras. So join me in chanting this seed mantra for abundance and to increase prosperity. This mantra, Hasakala Aila Reem, consists of seed or bija mantras, which activate chakras, the energy centers. Reem is the seed sound for the sacred heart. This mantra gives attainment to the celestial being Kubera, who is the treasure for the divine. Lakshmi and Kubera work together to bring in more prosperity. Here we go. Hasakala Aila Reem, 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 Hasakala Aila Reem. And the final mantra in our stack of abundance mantras is Om Aim Kleem Sa Sa Kleem Aim. So we have Om, the uniting of the masculine and feminine currents at the brow center, the universal mantra Om. Then we have a seed sound Aim, spelled E-I-M, the seed sound for Sarasvati, the feminine principle of jnana or spiritual knowledge and wisdom. Aim, seed sound of goddess Sarasvati for divine speech, creativity, and wisdom. Om Aim Kleem, Kleem is the principle of attraction. Sa is a Shakti activating sound, as well as the sound of one of the petals of the two-petaled Ajna, or third eye, sixth chakra, located at the brow center. It's a powerful Shakti mantra that raises one's vibration to a higher level so that you can vibe with your desired outcome. The mantra is Om Aim Kleem Sa Sa Kleem Aim. 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 So, chant away toward prosperity, abundance, and more. And remember, mantras are powerful, they are formidable, they work. I hope you enjoyed this episode, Sanskrit Mantras for Abundance. Enjoy the chanting. It will get you where you need to go, and you'll feel so good with those vibrations. Remember to subscribe, download, share, and give us a 5-star review. This is Cosmic Scene with Jill Jardine, signing out, sending healing Sanskrit sound formulas for healing, love, money, and more through the quantum field. Da!